No, it's better because you get to use your influence and what you do, because most of the stuff we wrote before were our songs. Yeah. You know, so we get to now do it the way we wanted to do it, not what another producer wants to do, you know.
Better spin, baby.
Don't you think they sound a lot alike? Yes. Do you grow up listening to Dad? Is that the only way you can sing because you his baby?
That's it. that's the only way, man, because there's a lot of people out here trying.
Yeah.
But no cigar.
Bye, 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 baby. Girl, I give you my time.
Gerald Levert was my first true love. It was at Casanova. He got me with that.
Baby, isn't he known? You see, I'm calling, gotta have some more.
Did my parents like it when we got closer? Nope. You can't go out with a musician, you know.
I never thought I would get over.
Accidentally overdosed himself into an early grave. Gerald Levert's childhood sweetheart, Kym Whitley, breaks her silence and spills her guts out about how it all went down and how her parents tried to break them up and were gonna spill all the tea. We gon' dive into all the good, the bad, and everything in between about this man who was truly a legend. So get your snacks ready, because this one's about to get real deep. Now, Gerald Levert wasn't just any artist. He was a whole vibe. He had that kind of voice that made you feel things you ain't even know you had in you. Smooth, deep, and straight up powerful, y'all. From the sweet tunes to those club bumpin' grooves, Gerald knew exactly how to touch our souls. He knew how to make us cry, laugh, and fall in love, all within the span of one song. But before we get to all the drama, let's take it back to where it all started. Let's look at how Gerald grew up and what made him into the man we all loved. Gerald Levert was born on July 13th, 1966 in Cleveland, Ohio, into a family already deep in the music biz. His daddy, Eddie Levert, was the lead singer of the O'Jays, one of those legendary groups that shaped the 70s sound.
I need what you need. You need what I need.
So, let's just say Gerald was practically born with a microphone in his hand. Mama Martha held it down at home, taking care of Gerald and his lil bro, Sean, while Eddie was out on the road. Even though Pops was gone a lot, the family was tight, and music was everywhere in their house. Music wasn't just a part of their lives, it was the foundation of everything they did. It was the rhythm that kept the family together, even when Eddie was gone. Eddie showed them how to hustle in the game. He took Gerald and Sean to studio sessions, concerts, the whole nine. Gerald saw firsthand what it meant to live this life, and he soaked it all up like a sponge. He started singing in church, at school, and everybody could tell he was meant to be something special. He wasn't just some kid with a dream. He had talent, drive, and that spark that made you stop and pay attention. And you know what? Gerald wasn't just trying to be his daddy's son. Nah, he wanted to do his own thing, carve his own lane in the music world. He wanted to build a legacy that was his own. And baby, he did just that. By the time Gerald was a teenager, he already knew what he wanted to do. He and Sean teamed up with their friend Mark Gordon, and they formed the R&B group Levert in 1983. And baby, let me tell you, they was on the come up. They dropped their first album, I Get Hot, in 85. But it wasn't until The Big Throwdown in 87 that they really started making waves. Y'all remember Casanova? That was the jam. It crossed over, hit the Billboard Hot 100, and had everybody in the club singing along.
Better spin, baby.
Gerald's voice? Wow! It was like honey. Sweet, smooth, and just a little bit dangerous. That was the thing about Gerald. He could give you that smooth love song and then turn around and give you something to dance to. He was versatile, and that's what made him stand out.
No, it's better because you get to use your influence and what you do, because most of the stuff we wrote before were our songs. Yeah. You know, so we get to now do it the way we wanted to do it, not what another producer wants to do, you know.
The group was poppin', but Gerald still had bigger dreams. He wanted to go solo, and he made it happen in 1991 with his debut album, Private Line. And baby, it went straight to number 1 on the R&B charts. No surprise there. He even did a duet with his daddy, Baby Hold On to Me. and it was like, the love between them was real. It was a father-son bond that you could hear in every note.
Don't you think they sound a lot alike? Do you grow up listening to Dad? Is that the only way you can sing because you his baby?
That's it. that's the only way, man, because there's a lot of people out here trying.
Yeah.
But no cigar.
Gerald wasn't just a singer. He was a storyteller, and he kept on dropping hit after hit, pulling us into his world with every song. By the late 90s, he was one of R&B's biggest voices, and there was no denying his talent.
Bye, 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 baby. Yeah, I give you my time.
But let me tell y'all, his love life was just as interesting as his music career. Gerald was known for being a ladies' man, okay? He loved the ladies, and the ladies loved him right back. One of his first serious relationships was with comedian Kym Whitley. She recently opened up on her podcast and told us how they met when they were just kids, and Kym was his first real love.
Gerald Levert was my first true love. It was at Casanova. He got me with that.
She even inspired that song, Addicted to You, because sis had Gerald sprung. Her parents didn't want her dating no musician, but you know how it is. Love is love.
So, did my parents like it when we got closer? Nope. My mom and dad were like, oh, you can't go out with a musician, you know.
They broke up when Kym moved to Hollywood to chase her dreams, and Gerald just couldn't handle her being in the spotlight too. He wanted his woman at home, cooking and waiting for him, just like his mama used to do. Kym wasn't about that life, so they went their separate ways, but stayed close. They had that kind of love that never really goes away, you know? They were each other's first, and that kind of bond is hard to break. And Kym wasn't the only one. Gerald had a thing with R&B singer Mickey Howard, too. They started out as best friends, but y'all know how that goes. They turned into lovers real quick. They made beautiful music together, literally, but things got messy when folks around Gerald started telling him she wasn't wife material. They broke up, but kept working together, on and off, you know how these things go. It was complicated, but there was real love there. They shared something special, and even when they weren't together, they were always in each other's orbit. The music they made together was full of passion, and you could hear their chemistry in every note. But y'all, Gerald didn't stop there. He kept the love train going with Candy Burris from Xscape. They was tight, close, and they even wrote a song together called It's You. They were together for about 2 years, but it was the same story. Gerald wanted a traditional wife, and Candy's a boss. She's got her own thing going, and it just didn't work out. But they stayed cool, and Candy was still in touch with his family even after Gerald passed. Candy was one of those women who saw the real Gerald, the man behind the music. She loved him, but she also knew she had to love herself enough to walk away when it wasn't right for her. They respected each other, and that respect lasted even after the romance ended.
Baby, you're my soulmate, baby.
Now let's talk about LSG. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gerald teamed up with Keith Sweat and Johnny Gill to form the supergroup LSG. They were hitting us with that smooth R&B in the late 90s, and their single My Body was everywhere. The chemistry between them was fire, and they put on some legendary shows. Gerald was on top of the world, but behind the scenes, things weren't always so rosy.
Baby, it's an emergency. I'm calling 'cause I gotta have some more.
Being in a supergroup was a lot of work. Different personalities, egos, and expectations. But Gerald was always about the music, and he made it work. He loved being on stage, and he loved connecting with the audience. When LSG performed, you could feel the energy. They gave it everything they had, and Gerald was the heart of it all. But he had health issues. That man was in pain. He was struggling with injuries, trying to keep up with all the touring, and it took a toll on him. He started taking pain meds to cope, but it got out of hand. In 2006, we lost Gerald, and it was a huge loss for all of us who loved him and his music. He was only 40 years old, y'all. Gone way too soon. The official cause was an accidental overdose, but his legacy lives on through his music, his kids, and all the people he touched. Gerald was more than just an artist. He was a father, a son, a friend, and an inspiration.
Baby, if you love me like you say you do.
He gave everything he had to his music, and he left a mark that can never be erased. His songs still make us feel, still bring us joy, and still remind us of the power of real, honest music. And let me tell you, Even though he's gone, the love people had for him is still here. Kym Whitley said she still thinks about what could have been. They even had a pact that if they weren't married by 50, they'd marry each other. And Candy still stays in touch with his kids, making sure they're good. Gerald might have been a ladies' man, but the love he gave was real, and those who knew him still carry that with them. He had a way of making people feel special, like they were the only one in the room. He made mistakes, who doesn't? But his heart was always in the right place. He loved deeply, and he gave his all, both on stage and off. Gerald's kids are keeping his memory alive too. They talk about their daddy with so much love, and you can tell he meant the world to them. He may not have been perfect, but he was theirs, and they loved him for it. Gerald left behind a legacy that goes beyond the music. He left behind people who will always remember him, always love him, and always keep his spirit alive. His fans? We're part of that legacy too. We still listen to his songs, still sing along, still feel every note. That's the power of Gerald Levert. So, what do y'all think? Gerald lived his life on his own terms, and though he made some mistakes, he always came from a place of love. He gave us some of the best slow jams, party anthems, and heartbreak songs of our lives. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Gerald Levert moment is, whether it's a song, a performance, or just something you heard about him. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on the next juicy story. We got plenty more where this came from, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. All right, y'all, I'm out. Till next time, stay blessed and keep that music loud. Remember, love hard, live loud, and always keep that soul alive. Peace.
Baby, you're my soul.